Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of Equality and Diversity in the Music Industry with Music Industry Insights Worldwide, Volume 2. And today I have Yvonne with me. Hi, Yvonne, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Really, really well, thanks. And thank you for joining me today, taking your time out to come and chat with us on the show and tell us a little bit more about yourself, where you're from and what you do.
I'm Yvonne Mwale, and originally, of course, I'm coming from Zambia, and this is where I am right now. I had to come here for a visit, but I'm based in Germany.
Brilliant.
Yes. Yeah.
A little bit more about what you do in the music industry and how long you've been doing it for.
Okay, like professionally, I've been doing music now for about maybe 12 years. Yeah, something like 12 years. Yeah.
Is that
And
Germany? Has that been in Germany and Africa and Europe as well?
Yeah, it's been between Germany and Africa also.
Amazing.
So starting from back in the 2019, that's when like I started just on a small level where we had to take part on participating in some competitions. And there was this organization from France, was it France or Europe? Yeah, they were really like empowering young artists and promoting the young talents in Africa. So that was the biggest competition that I had to take part in. And I participated because they were selecting like African young musicians from different countries and bring them together and make them compete and give them this opportunity to, by winning the first prize and being given the opportunity to come to Europe in 2009. Yeah, so that's when we took the prize. Amazing. And that's when I started now making my tours to Europe. Yes, yeah.
So like comparing Africa to Germany, what kind of differences do you see in the music industry? Do you see a lot of differences?
There are a lot of differences based on, of course, also production. For example, like when you're recording studios here, they might have similar things, but also in terms of marketing and promoting, also there are things that also they do differently here. Yeah, it's quite really different. But also I like it here. Also the way they're doing it, it works just because they know how they do things. It's not as much as but like comparing to Europe. Yeah, there of course everything is advanced, and okay, we have like Wi-Fi everywhere, we have internet everywhere, but the quality of recording, like everything that we are using, it's kind of different. Most people here, like in the studios, we are trying also by all means to fuse in some African also instruments when it comes to recording in the studio, so you can easily call some choir people. Some people are also into vernacular languages. There are those special sounds that we might also need. Yeah. And it's very much easy here to get them, but you usually get them from outside, not in the city, but like in the villages, so yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Like a Black female from Africa and then going to Germany, how has that been for you?
It's okay. I would say so far so good. It's been really okay, despite of course culture difference. But for me, I'm a person who is very free. Yeah. I'm a free soul. That's what I've told myself. So wherever I'll go, I try by all means to make it also my home. Yeah. But also I'm taking my energy and everything I have with me, what inspires me and what represents me, and just being able to interact and just cope with people and just being able to deal with whatever they deal with. I just try to fit in. So I don't really look at too much of the difference and whatnot, but also I just try to fit in and just trying to keep the balance. But still, I try to stay the authentic myself of me, so it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Have you ever done any kind of like musical education? Have you ever taken part in any kind of college or studying?
Unfortunately not. No. So this is how it works here, like back home where I am in Africa, Zambia. Now it's different comparing to like 15 years ago. Now recently they've started now building up like some music schools, but it's also just about playing instruments. It's not somewhere where you can go and learn about reading the sheets, reading music and all these scales and get that professional help from school.
Yeah.
But from here, most of the people, we never really went to school for music. It's just the talent that you are born with, and through your experience of singing and being exposed with the band and you singing in front of people in church. It's just a natural thing that comes. We're born with it, and you train as much as you sing in front of people with bands doing cover songs. Because me, I come from a background of doing cover songs.
Okay.
That time before I became like professional, super professional, I used to do that for a long time for surviving. Where at least you're able to pay your bills. Yes. From doing cover songs. That means you have to sing from each bar every weekend. Maybe you're at a wedding. We get hired by people who wants to do like a party, private parties and weddings and so forth and so on. So it's been really okay, but I haven't been really to school. Even right now, if you ask me, can you read this? I can't read music, but I just feel it. I'm able to sing jazz. I'm able to sing blues, but just with the feeling, the way I feel it. I'm just able to express, react to the sound, and automatically just comes instant, in your head, like, okay, I might go about like this, I might do it like that, and that's just how it works. So no education. Yeah.
So you don't actually inspire other people by saying you don't need an education to come into the business. It's a talent.
No, you don't need, it's the talent.
Yes.
Yeah. And because of that, it comes also more naturally. You don't have to focus on reading or making mistakes, because if you do so, it's coming from, for me, I believe too much in expressing your feelings the way you feel. Yeah. Don't just let it out. Just sing as you feel it and as you hear it. Yeah, so for me, yeah, it's more special and more beautiful. You don't have to think or read or something. And this is why in most of my songs, I never really took time to sit down and start writing. Okay. Usually this is how I do it. I don't sit down to start getting my pen and start writing words and coming up with. I just hear the music. If it's something that it's speaking to my soul, I feel it from deep inside. Then just right there and then I just start humming and coming up with words, just singing. So the song becomes ready after I've done already vocals and things like that. So everybody's different, but for me, I would prefer doing it that way. I just start to sing. Yeah.
I really understand where you're coming from. So looking at your career as an artist, as a Black artist from Africa going into Germany, what kind of issues and barriers have you faced working in the entertainment music industry? What kind of challenges and barriers would you say have really stuck out and made you feel, okay, this needs to change, we need to do something about it?
Okay, so I think from my experience with being in Germany as a Black person with my music, it's where, like, right in the beginning, of course, I wasn't so sure on how people would accept me or see me or accept my music, because also my songs, not every song is being sung in English, So I tried by all means, to keep my vernacular language, my language, because if I don't sing in my language, I feel like it's not coming out naturally, it has to come out. I'm expressing it fully with the way I feel. I do it better. So I was really worried in the beginning that maybe people might not accept me. And of course, also I had some few challenges where I could also hear it. And from not everybody, people saying, yeah, but she's Black and why is she with white people on stage? Things like that. So yeah, she's the only Black person on stage. And these white men, they're playing her music, and they really, really play well. I've got really very good musicians, professional musicians. Mm-hmm. And when they're playing, of course, they don't play like, they play like they've been already here. That's how they work. So I've had few comments like that. And of course, it made me feeling uncomfortable, where I find it so rude. So if a white person can't play African music, and then what does that mean? For example, we are so many Black people, Black musicians also who are there are other few African or Black people that I know, they are trying to play country music. It's the same thing, you know, you're trying to play country music. And why is that? So for me, music has got no like boundaries or culture or race, I would say. You know, you just have to just bring it out there. Anybody can play any type of music. You know, you don't have to sing Indian music just because you come from India. If I come from Japan, I can do Indian music as well, you know, something like that. So those are the things that also gave me a little bit of more challenges. Yeah, it was really, I didn't take it so well, but I had to,
You get where you're coming from, and it's about your identity as well, isn't it? Because as an artist, it's about you expressing yourself. So I suppose it's really personal to yourself. And why would you want to change who you are and what you are to suit somebody else? That's basically what you're saying, isn't it? Stay true to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You have to stay true to yourself, or else if you know, otherwise, if you don't want to stay true to yourself, then you lose yourself. You know, then everything about you becomes really not so real anymore. And it's not good not to become so real, because we are people today, we are who we are because we try to stay true to ourselves. You know, so this is the reason. I don't want to change who I am. I want to stay just the way I am, and just being able to do what I love to do, which is music, and just being able to, there's so much, you know, in music. You know, music for me, it's not just music that you hear, you listen, you smile, and you dance, and you feel good. Of course, it has to make you feel in a certain type of way. It has a very bigger positive effect on a person. Music has to heal. Music has to you know, to bring people together. Music has to be love. Music has to be so many things. Music has to change lives, you know. So that's how I see it.
Music is universal, isn't it? Anyone around the world can listen to music and get something from it. So it's not about the language, it's actually the music itself, isn't it?
It's about the language. It's about the music itself. Music has no language.
That's right.
And this is why from one of my album, there's a song called Dadida. There's a song that you liked. It's an old video. You know, I was in Tanzania with the guitar, and Kalamatila. Yes. From that same album, there's a song called Dadida. So I always give an example, you know, of this song, because this song, people, they're always asking me, what is Dadida? I'm like, no, for me, Dadida, it's not a word. It doesn't mean anything, but it's a language that only me as a person in my spirit, I'm able to understand what I was singing. So I somehow came up with the language that nobody even understands or speaks. So I've done that, I think maybe twice or so. I come up also with my language that it's only me who can understand it, but also it has a meaning on how you are able to express yourself depending on how you want to feel. If you're emotional, I created this song just to make you feel emotional in a positive way, you know. So it doesn't need to be a language. You can just sing. It doesn't have to be a language. You can just make up something and it comes out really good. Really good
advice that you've just given there, actually. Some really, really good, great advice. Thank you for sharing this, actually. And how did that impact you? You know, when you've had some of these challenges, how has that impacted you as a person? How has that made you feel? Has it changed you in any way? Has it made you stronger? Has it made you more determined? Do you just think, okay, this is just the way it is? How's it impacted you in that way?
For me, it has a very positive effect. And through music, it's a reason why I'm smiling, I'm pushing every day, I'm fighting, even though I have more challenges. I'm, you know, overcoming a lot of challenges. And most people, they see me, they're like, how do you do it? And I'm like, you know, for me, I feel like the same music, people they underestimate the power of music. But you know what music can do? Music can save a life. And for me, music is what saved me. After going through all these things, experiencing rape, becoming a mother at the age of 15, losing my parents at the age of 12, being homeless for 5 years on the streets. So basically, I raised myself on the street, and I raised my son alone on the street. So because of music, really, it saved my life. I had moments where I had also attempted to commit suicide, I think twice. But I felt like music became like my God, music became like my God. It was always there. Whenever I get so much emotional, whenever I get into a dark place, falling into a dark place, I always came up with melodies. I always, even when I'm sleeping, I'm always coming up. And to tell you the truth, for me, I find it so easy and so comforting to come up with sad melodies, because sad melodies for me, they are more sweeter. They sound more sweeter, I don't know why it's like that, but I enjoy more sad songs. But it's now that I started changing a little bit. I'm like, of course, I can't keep on singing sad songs forever. Life has to change. Not every time you have to be sad, but also music can make people happy. You have to celebrate. So it has really impacted me in a very positive way. It has given me enough reason to, fight and not to give up in life, and also to share my story with other people also like me who went through so much. There are other people also missed their, who missed their youths. I don't know how to become a teenager. I missed my 12-year, experience. I missed my 13, because for me already at that age of 12, I became already someone who took responsibilities. I'm taking care of myself. I ate one meal in a week. I'm living on the streets. I have to know where I'm going to eat next or where I have to sleep, because I was just all the time outside. So I missed out my life of being a teenager. And this is why most of the people I meet, they're always asking me, how old are you? And when I try to tell them, of course, now I'm not yet 40, I'm 33 now. And they find it so hard. And I'm like, of course, for me, I feel like I've lived longer enough. So therefore, I feel more older than that. I don't have time for being a teenager anymore. I passed that life. I jumped it. Not that I wanted it, but circumstances, life and things changed, and life gave me what I took in. But I also chose to make the best out of it and just to enjoy. Exactly. This is why I'm standing here. I'm like, I'm not giving up. Even though things are not really good, I'm not giving up. So music has really helped me and healed me a lot in a positive way. So I'm still going even now. I
really feel you, and thank you for sharing such an inspirational story with us. Wow. I'm just wow. Like when you know what you've been through, and you're here today, and you have a massive smile on your face, and you're such a beautiful soul.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, it's not easy being a parent in the music industry. So how's that also impact as well?
It's not easy to be a mom at the same time to concentrate on the music, because you have kids, and also your kids, they need your full attention. And at the same time, of course, for you to keep growing and keep growing your brand, also you have to be there. You have to be everywhere. You have to be in public. You have to be on social media. Also, you just have to be active. You have to be there for your fans. You just have to make sure that you are entertaining everyone, so that people are not completely forgetting about you. So for me, it's a bit challenging, but over the time, you learn how to balance. And my kids, of course, now they know. Even when I'm on tours, like some tour years ago, they know. So I always come up with a plan to say, okay, my kids now, they know this is my schedule. I have a concert, maybe next month I have 6 or 10 shows. Then we plan before, we somehow arrange it that they are staying with maybe Oma and Opa, that's grandparents. So that at least, or maybe some friends also who would want to just stay in my house, also just to be there and look after the kids. So we keep it balanced. But now they're no longer young that they need maybe full attention from morning to, because my daughter, she's just she's 10. Wow. And this year in July she turns 11, and my son is 15. So even though I'm not there, I know Erica, she's okay with the brother. He can cook. They can do things together as long as they've eaten. They know how to get around, and I train my kids. My kids are not like, because this is also the African culture. You start training your child when your child is like 5 years old. Your child already has to be able to clean up the table after eating or taking the dishes clean the dishes, and spread the bed, clean up the room, pack up the toys, just independently, oh, now the child knows it's time now to go and bath, or now I have to bath, or I have to do this. For example, Erica, she can make eggs, but for some kids also, I know in Germany at this age, you have to do everything for them. You have to make some simple eggs, for them, but she cracks the eggs and putting it in a bowl, put the pot there. She knows, I've taught her exactly, this is how you start the cooker. Make sure, do this carefully. We do it together. We train. So that's how I've taught also my kids. So for me, I'm managing. It's not easy, though, for every mother, but you have to keep it professional, You really have to keep it professional, because for me, music is not just, it's my work. That's my profession. I can only do music. And music is what I'm surviving from. And at the end of the day, I have to feed my kids. I have to provide for them. So I just have to work. They know this is mommy's work, and we don't disappoint her. If she says she's going for work, she has to go for work. I have to stay focused. I have to prepare myself. I have to practice and just staying focused, and mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I always have to prepare. So they know that. So I'm managing. Yeah.
Good to hear. Thank you. And the next question would be have you ever experienced discrimination in the music industry as a whole?
Yeah, discrimination, it's always there. Truthfully speaking, I think for every musician, we've always faced discrimination, and it gets even worse. Out there are so many, mean people out there. So it's a tough job, I have to say, because also, the way we are as artists, we are easily judged, to be judged wrongly or wrong. People, they see your image, they always have negative things to say about artists. Or you hear many comments, artists, they don't listen, or artists that do this, or artists that do drugs. Of course, artists are different, so you face a lot of discrimination. For now, like, for example, I'm an artist, I've gotten some few comments from people who are like, this is now in connection to body shaming. Oh, you've put on so much weight, so how are you going to perform? Things like that. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm a mother, but not only that, my body has changed also over the time. But of course, also people are different. I might be gaining weight, not just because I'm eating too much, but I feel like also depression has two ways. If you're too much depressed, for some people, they gain too much, and for some people, they lose. I don't eat that much, but I just started finding myself in a situation where I started gaining, So people always, criticize and discrimination. You find people commenting, I would rather watch. There was a time where I had like people who were coming to one of my shows, and I could just hear comments like, oh, I thought she was a white person, I thought she was a white person, but anyway, I might try to stay, but not for a long time. So things like that, they stayed with me for a very, very long time, where I had to be called even names like N word, things like that. So I've been really, I had to just let it go. And through also my kids, also my kids had to go through so much in the school. You know how it is also. It's not racism anywhere, it's everywhere. Discrimination is always everywhere with everyone. Even here in Africa, we have it, so it has,
what advice would you give to someone who might be suffering discrimination? What advice could you share with them?
I would just advise them just to not to listen to any of the negative comments that comes out from people, and not to take them seriously, because once you do that, it's going to mess up with you. You lose focus. You stop loving yourself. You lose yourself. So I would just advise, just keep going. If you have somebody saying some bad things to you, discriminating you, just don't pay attention at all. Just keep smiling, look at yourself in the mirror, and tell yourself every day, this is what I'm doing. This is what I've told myself, like this year. Last year was horrible. Yes, I can't change some things that happened, but I have the power. Since I'm alive, very much alive. I'm a very good person. I have a very good sense of humor. So this year, this is what I'm doing. I'm just going to stay positive, focusing on working, and just to find myself, my happiness, and love me more. I don't want to pay attention to whatever people are saying. Let me just keep doing what I'm doing. This is what I love to do. I eat this. I want to be healthy this year. I want to do this. I start writing all these things down. Let me just try to reach my goals step by step. But I don't want to listen to anybody who's speaking to me negatively or discriminating me. I just want to love me now. I choose me, because that's really, really important. You know, self-love is very, very important. You take your time, just do the most things that you love, the most important things you love, and it might really change a lot in you. You start even feeling the effect, you know. Once you are happy, you start seeing yourself clean. It has an effect on how you look, your appearance. You look good, you smell good, everything changes around you, you know. So once your mind is free, your mind, you know, mind is a very strong thing. Yes. Your mind can change your life, your mind can change your future. Your mind, people, they underestimate the power of your mind. If you tell your mind to say, okay, I don't want to be poor anymore, I don't want to suffer anymore, the same way I thought some years ago while I was on the street, I was like, I'm gonna get out of this street. I will make myself become somebody, no matter how long it takes me. For I know I hear people saying the sky is the limit, but for me, it's the other way around. I don't want the sky to be the limit at all. I'll keep going until my end. There's no limit at all. So I just have to bring myself out of a situation like that. I've told myself I want to become like this, like that, and that. But I know it's not happening in one day. But it's just important you make a step, you start taking action. Because if you're not doing anything, nothing will happen. So you just have to push yourself and love yourself more, and just always surround yourself with the people who are also thinking like you, which is very difficult to find your match people, you know, who are in your circle, who are also, you know, having the same spirit of fighting. So that's what I would really advise people who are being discriminated, you know your friends, know your surrounding, know your circle. But it's important, more importantly, you start learning yourselves and choose you, only yourself. Don't think of anyone else. Be selfish for once, at least. Just choose you, and that's it. Yeah.
Yvonne, thank you so much for sharing that. This has been such an amazing talk. I'm so glad you've come on the show today, because this has just been such inspirational, one of the best ones so far. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I'm sorry it took a little bit long, because I've been moving up and down, and of course here I don't have a proper Wi-Fi, so I'm just using the data from my phone. Yeah. So I'm just connecting with the hotspot from my phone to my laptop. So I'm like, yes, today I'm gonna do it. So at least likely I got some enough bundles. So at least I'm able to. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
You share any of your major successes or anything that you're doing now with your musical career online with us, so we can hear it a bit more?
Yeah. Thank you so much. So right now I'm just working on some few shows here, and I've had also some few meetings with different people. We're trying to see what we can do. Sadly, unfortunately, of course, this January and February, it's not good months for here in Zambia. You know, that's where people financially are not okay. And yeah, it's been also heavily raining. So usually when it's heavily raining like this, most people don't usually go out. But after, maybe we're planning for February, maybe end, we'll try to see what we can do. But already I've had some successful meetings with different people. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm also connected to some promoters here, which also they are my friends. So we are trying to come up with a proper strategy on how we can, you know, do some few shows and just be able to, you know, make money together. And so we are moving. We start a promotion, we start the campaign, and we start working on different projects. So like yesterday, I've been to one place, it's called Modzi Arts. They are more into arts, you know. Yeah, so it's an arts place. And a friend of mine is running this arts place, and she does more activities there, anything to do with art. You know, it could be sculpture, paintings, and all these amazing artists, different artists, not just musicians. So I remember one time I was there some years ago doing like my trio. It's somewhere where I don't do with a full band. So we had like a mini concert where I'm doing just a trio. And since I got my vocal loop station, so I'm just doing my, you know, looper, and I have my friend who's playing guitar, and also some percussion. So we're gonna just have a small setup where it's intimate, you know, connecting with people. We're doing some spiritual soul music, and it's more art. Yeah. So we have some good things coming up. Yeah.
If people want to find you or go and listen to your music, can they find you on Spotify, or have you got a website they can go and listen to your music anywhere?
Yeah. So you could just go on www.yvonnemwale.com. Yes, that's the website. And of course, my music, it's on all platforms, on Spotify, Apple, Google Play, on all musical platforms, Apple Music as well. So just type Yvonne Mwale, then you get to find everything, even on YouTube as well. So it's very easy to find.
And I'll share in bio as well. So if anyone wants to go and check out Yvonne, please do so. All the links will be in the description. And thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's been so inspirational. Wishing you
thank you so much.
Wishing you all the best, and I'm sure we'll be back in touch really soon as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you, and you're looking good. Thank you. Yeah.
You're looking good, sister. God bless you, and keep up the
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Then we'll be in touch. Yeah.
Take care.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.